Everybody, whoa, we are live. This is Lindsey Baker on the Action Hour. Welcome to my show, Susan Hargreaves. Animal Hero Kids, we're going to continue talking about, why don't we jump back to what we were talking about, your early animal rights work. Now, you had said that you worked with rodeo, live entertainment, animals in live entertainment, etc. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, in 1980, I was with Mobilization for Animals and Action Volunteers for Animals in Toronto. In 1980, I began investigating the stockyards at Keele and St. Clair in Toronto, which has since closed down. Today it's a mall, believe it or not, the Stockyard Mall. And I investigated rodeos, and there was an annual rodeo at the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition Grounds. And what I and the horses were fortunate enough to, the owner of the entire Canadian National Exhibition Grounds actually saw one of our protests that we were doing there and halted the rodeos. And there was, of course, as you know, a lot of cruelty. Any industry or business that uses any species of animal, it is always not good for that particular animal that they're profiting off. So many people in ask me, and as a humane educator, um, I look at the perspective of all species of animals when in the schools. And some people will say, oh, yeah, but this is humane, or what about that? Or zoos are okay, aren't they? It's not like circuses. But in
Yeah.
every single instance where someone's profiting off the body, the behavior, the body parts of an animal, it is not good for the animal because they profit off that. It's pretty well a simple rule of thumb to those who have realized it, but of course we haven't always realized it. We were all eating animals at one time,
Right.
and we were all perhaps even going to the circus or wearing fur. When we were children, or so nobody is blameless. It's not like who is holier than art thou contest. The fact is that when people realize what's happening to animals, then nobody really, very few people really want to see animals harmed and suffer. The majority of people that are walking around on this earth
It's true.
don't want to have animals suffer. They if somebody was hurting a dog in their on the sidewalk outside of their house, they would run out and stop that. Well, a lot of times they're just not aware of it, what's happening. So that's why investigations are so good, because you shine a light on what's happening as well as
I,
education.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but we have a viewer saying, "Hey Jane, I'm Lindsay, but Jane, this is Jane Unchained. Love everything you do, and I agree with you, Susan. We need to go vegan, and everything you're saying are facts." Now, Susan, I want to ask you a question. Jump in here. How do you respond to people? You mentioned the zoos, right? So this is a good one. Tell us how you would respond when they say zoos. There's a little tapping sound. Is something moving?
Yeah, I don't know what, I have no idea what that is. I'm
Huh.
staying really completely still. It's gone now.
Yeah, okay. There we go. So can you address that? Why zoos? People go, well, they do conservation and where would those animals be? So how would you respond to that?
Like I respond often to people, I just ask them a question, which is, I would say, if you think, well, I don't say it in like an accusatory way. Imagine if you were that particular animal in that situation, and you can answer your own question of how you would feel being that particular animal. Put yourself in the animal's place. And a lot of times people then come up with the answer all themselves. And when I do humane education programs in schools, part of the presentation, I will say, uh, hands up if you would like to never leave this room again. How about if I brought you food? And you could stay in that room forever, so you wouldn't see your family again, but I would bring you food. You would just never leave the room again. Hands up, who would like to that? And then nobody puts up their hand unless they've
Right.
got some, some smart person in the back saying, "Yeah, I never want to leave." But generally, they know right away, like, "Oh no, we want to be free."
And great time here, but that's okay. We got it working.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear me good. Okay. In a zoo situation, there's a thing called zoonasia. Zoonasia. It's like euthanasia. But when an animal, it's been said, now we don't want to name any particular zoos, but it's been found to be true. There has been documentation that as certain animals become less desirable or less popular to the public, they are either moved off. They have to make room for other exhibits that are more profitable in order to continue sometimes. And they will do that. So the animal's welfare is not the first concern. The business is the first concern.
Exactly. And people are so
Go ahead.
surprised. People are so surprised. People were so shocked at the zoo that killed the giraffe, and so the lions ate the giraffe. And people are so shocked when they hear those things, not realizing that the zoo is a business. And yes, baby animals attract visitors. So I always ask, why is it that the zookeeper or the zoo person is feeding the baby animal? I'll tell you why, because they had to take the baby animal away from the mother. And I'll tell you why they had to take away the baby animal from the mother, because the mother tries to kill her own baby. Now, would a mother try to kill her own baby in the wild? No, but that baby is being born into a prison. And it's very likely, of course, I'm not in the animal's head, but if anybody remembers any baby animal on the media, you'll see them feeding the baby animal, and they'll say things like, well, at first the mother might harm the baby, so we can't put. Now, okay, why? So it's really, for a very short while, I was a zoo check person, which is somebody that goes in with a very long list of basic things and checks up on zoos. It's called Zoo Check, and it's mainly in Toronto. And what you find is that they have very little room, and very few zoos do the so-called conservation thing. It was in Toronto that a Bowmanville Zoo brought an elephant out to a Toronto ski resort and tied up the elephant to a bunch of people with a rope, and they did a tug of war. That was the plan anyway, until the activists turned up, which was me and like 7 others with blowhorns. Yeah, so the Bowmanville Zoo actually just closed down, that very same zoo. So I was so glad to hear that. Zoos profit from keeping animals captive.
I just have to say that we invite that zoo on at any time, or the people
if they were still in business.
If they were still in business, but neither to say the individuals that were the owners on at any time to hear their side of the story. We really try not to mention anybody's name if possible.
Oh, sorry.
Susan, thank you. No problem. It happens. But yeah, we invite them on to say the name of that organization again so we can.
Bowmanville Zoo, if since you're now out of business, but any zoo, I'm so very thankful if you will contact us so we can talk about this subject on the air. We want to hear your side of it. And the reason we want to hear your side of it is because we think the world should know what really happens in zoos. So come on.
And maybe we could come to some sort of understanding, because maybe we can make some suggestions. We had some good suggestions that if there's any people in that industry, we never want people to lose their jobs. We never want to cause other people to have hardships. But there are ways that entertainment can transform to a more humane type of entertainment using the technologies we have, virtual technology, animatics, and children could see animals in their real natural environment. And they could even have these animatics where they're robots, they could come and touch them and animals stay unharmed. And the money, they would still be able to have these enterprises and keep people working. We just have to transform how we do things because we're more aware now. What do you think, Susan? Address that.
I think that Ocean Park in Paris was actually, instead of keeping captive wildlife, they had a round room that was completely screened with video screens, and you could stand in that room, and when the video played, you could be in the middle of a dolphin pod in the ocean. You could be there,
Right.
standing there. That is what we need today. We need Discovery Channel, National Geographic, beautiful, beautiful footage, and we need to be right there. And that is really why so many businesses, there's been such a public shift in the regard of whether or not animals, wildlife should be captive. And in Fort Lauderdale, in South Florida, where I live now, it was years ago that Ocean World closed down. And it was because people stopped going because of all of the protests. And then they realized that, hey, if I was a dolphin, I wouldn't like to be stuck in a pool forever. So the world is changing, and
Yeah.
you can actually change with it. I mean, look at Elmhurst Dairy. Elmhurst Dairy is an iconic dairy in New York that today does walnut milk and hazelnut milk.
That's wonderful.
And so in order to diversify you need to diversify your project and your product and keep up with the times with
Yeah.
the Beyond Meat. A friend of mine, we had the Animal Hero Kids Celebration and Summit, and I wanted to Beyond Meat actually donated the Beyond Burgers. And one of the people that were there in the audience was shocked when they ate their Beyond Burger. They said, Susan, if I didn't know you organized this, I would think this was a real meat burger. And she ended up making $20,000 the last couple, like since November, on Beyond Meat stocks.
Right.
Why was that? Because
Right.
it's now, if you want to be on the cutting edge of progress, if you want your business to prosper, then you need to look at what the people want. And what the
Exactly.
people want is they don't want to harm animals.
Well said. Well said. Susan, we need to move on because I'm going to have to go off the air. It's been so great talking to you, but we need to go off the air in about 5 minutes. So let's get to what you really want to get people to know about Animal Hero Kids. You want to watch a few of the videos? Would that be a good idea?
One thing I have to not
Yeah.
forget to mention
Okay.
is that the Animal Hero Kids book is now in an ebook form. And if you go to Amazon and just put in Animal Hero Kids, Hero Kids Voices for the Voiceless.
Can we type this in? So what should I type in?
You just go to animalherokids.org or Animal Hero Kids Voices for the Voiceless. Our goal is to put a book in every school library. But if you, no matter how old you are, you will really enjoy this book because it's full of happy ending stories of kids and teens rescuing or advocating for other animals. And we also have a chapter in it by Paul McCartney and a lot of celebrities who gave encouraging quotes to the people reading it about being kind to all animals and how we can be heroes. And animalherokids.org is where you would contact us to get involved in Animal Hero Kids Month. We are looking for people of all ages to help organize activities for the month of October. So Animal Hero Kids Month, we're looking for help.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in here and your website. I just put in the link, Animal Hero Kids Voices for the Voiceless on Amazon.com. Hello, Natasha from London. Okay, and I'm going to put in your website.
AnimalHeroKids.org. Thank you.
Let me see. HTTP. Let me just www works.
Yeah.
Animal.
I'm Natasha from London. Animal Hero Kids was there, and we went to the retreat sanctuary south of London, which was beautiful.
Check out that website. We've got it up about 3 times, and I will put it in the body of the description when I go in and do my optimizing right after we get off. And so let's just watch a couple of clips. Is that okay, real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, we want to just kind of show a couple of things here.
Children are open to learning
compassion and empathy for other creatures. Children can be incredible heroes to animals. Once they are equipped with the tools, they can do fantastic things for animals. Sometimes the children dress up and they do interactive dramatizations. I have huge, colorful, plush costumed characters that teach children how they can be animal heroes. The programs are always interactive, lively, never boring. They learn about the plight of other creatures, and they learn how they can help them. What positive impact their choices can have. Hi, I'm Sharice Williams, Broward County Parks Animal Care Specialist. Susan's programs are fantastic. Kids love being part of them. We loved having her. This is an experience that so many of these kids never even had before. They were able to dress up as the character. They were able to empathize with the story of the animal. It was tangible for them, the experience. They were actually part of the animal's story. It's something that you need to get behind because we're all part of this solution.
I'm Lieutenant Sherry Schluter with the Broward Sheriff's Office, and I believe in humane education as a preventative measure to stop the cycle of violence. Susan has a creative flair for reaching the type of audience that she targets, whether it be women in a prison system, women in a battered women's shelter, or children in a school ground. She knows just what to do. She's extremely effective.
Empowering others with the tools to make positive choices fosters self-esteem, and it creates a just, peaceful society. Humane education needs to be available to everyone, no matter what group, no matter what institution, no matter what age. My programs are educational, interactive, fun, and free.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to show one more with the kids performing. Let me see if that's this one.
Welcome to the largest ever Animal Hero Kids celebration. Let's give them a cheer for that.
If you want to be a vegan, you got to be a best friend. Imagine going to the place and not to run it. It is our job to educate. So the animals we can live in. I have a dream that all animals on Earth have peace in their lives. We all deserve it or not, decide, but it's just that simple. Don't eat meat. This is my vegan dream. Once a cow can no longer produce and serve no purpose. They don't cut or lose. They cut her throat and send her to slaughter. Her son becomes veal, and the tradition is passed down to her daughter. I don't eat meat and I don't eat eggs. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat birds to walk. Oceans for fish to swim. The sky for birds to fly. The sun for flowers to grow. And walk a world full of God, love, kindness. A world where we all got with how we treated humans and
animals. Stop supplying from companies that torture, abuse, and slaughter my friends. And I was calling on the world, on the government to pass a this law. An animal bill of rights named on behalf of my best friend. And we all have a moral responsibility to speak up. So thank you all for taking action and being kind to the cruel world.
Wow, Susan, you have some amazing kids there. Amazing work you're doing.
That was at the first ever Animal Hero Kids Summit and celebration that we had in November of 2019 here in Fort Lauderdale. And Animal Hero Kids flew children and teens from all around, including all around America, including North America, being Vancouver. And part of what Animal Hero Kids does is we encourage kids to be creative in conveying compassion to other kids and adults. So we actually have a Creative Compassion Award category where we're looking for songs, videos, spoken word, dance. We even gave it one year for an idea. So use your.
What was the idea?
The idea was twins and a friend in a school in grade 6 asked their principal if they could build a cage and stay in that cage all day in the hallway and answer people what it's like to be in a circus or a zoo, a tiger.
Wow, that is incredible. You know, just recently we the Animal Save movement, they did that. I don't know if you participated. I participated in that. It really is, I think it's a great way to showcase. And did the kids come up with that idea themselves?
The kids came up with that idea. That was in 2014. That was the year that we had the Animal Hero Kids Awards at Muse School. Susie.
Oh, Susie. Yes.
Yes.
Susie Amos Cameron, James Cameron's wife, who has that wonderful school, the Muse School. So do you work with Susie occasionally? Do you
in that particular awards ceremony, they were kind enough to allow us to have it at their school, and we gave them the Animal Hero, the School Hero to All Award, because they were the first school in the United States that offer a completely plant-based cafeteria menu. So I mean, they're groundbreaking. They're real trailblazers, and it was great to recognize them for that.
Well, Susan, I have to say we've gone over our time, but we have so much. We just scratched the surface. I think that you should come back on maybe next week or sometime. We'll talk off camera about your schedule, and let's have you come back on, and we'll continue our story from there. Does that sound good to you? Can you do that?
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking with you today. Thank you so much, Lindsey.
I did as well. Don't forget, folks, visit animalherokids.org, and the book again. Tell the title, please, again.
Is that Animal Hero Kids Voices for the Voiceless? It's inspiring and empowering.
And I'm going to go
have it. You need this.
Yes. And in fact, I was just going to say, I'm going to go right now to Amazon, and I'm going to go and buy a copy because I want to read it. I have to be honest with you real quick. I get nervous reading some of the stuff, because it gets, I watch the stuff I have to watch doing this work. I have no choice. I've got to look at the footage, but I think this book sounds like it's going to be really uplifting and give a lot of good stories that I can hopefully share with people, maybe to help build their empathy and open up their consciousness.
It will give you hope. And it's like a soothing balm for all the activists who see so much suffering, to know that these animals are all saved. They're all happy. And you could be an Animal Hero Kids storyteller by going into local schools and libraries and telling some of the stories, if you like, in the book, and spreading that kindness all over.
That would be amazing. All right. We've got lots of plans, lots of stuff to do. We got to get busy. I know you're very busy, but we've got to get in there and help you promote this more. So Thanks for coming on today, and we're going to have you on again soon. I hope everybody has a wonderful Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Susan.
Thank you. But I'm Lovey's mother. Here's Lovey.
I'm a fur baby mother myself, so I can relate.
Here's Lovey.
Oh, how are you? How you doing, Fluffy?
17. She's 17.
17 and still gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. She just had a bath.
Okay, you guys take care and have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.